So if you're a newer member of our audience, you're probably not familiar with the Coastal Kickback, one of the most brazen, biggest campaign finance scams in South Carolina history. Now, this goes back to over a decade ago when Myrtle Beach and the Myrtle Beach Chamber of Commerce were passing a $20 million a year tax hike. And to do that, they funneled about $350,000 into the pockets of local politicians, greasing the skids, making sure the tax hike got passed. The problem is that a big chunk of that money was routed illegally, and the scammers were caught, literally red-handed. So what happened? Well, here's the problem. Nothing. Nothing happened. There were absolutely no criminal consequences to the Myrtle Beach Area Chamber of Commerce literally funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars into the pockets of local politicians to get their tax act passed. Basically, they picked a fall guy, a local attorney by the name of Shep Guyton. Shep Guyton took all the blame, said that he was the one that did all this. He was the one that sent the money. He was the one who created all these fake companies to route the money through. So what punishment did Shep Guyton get? Well, 3 years ago, the South Carolina State Ethics Commission gave him a $33,000 fine, people. And again, I want to put that number in context. We got a $33,000 fine. We've got more than $350,000 in political contributions that were funneled to politicians. And then we've got millions and millions of dollars since then in annual tax hikes on the people of Myrtle Beach. Doesn't add up. Doesn't add up. You've got a huge scandal, and literally $33,000 is all he gets. Well, this week, 3 years after that Ethics Commission ruling, Guyton was finally judged by the Office of Disciplinary Counsel, which is the part of the judicial branch that attempts to hold lawyers accountable for their conduct. What punishment did he get there? A $5,000 fine. Oh, and a public reprimand. A public reprimand. Folks, this is why you will never see any real campaign finance reform in South Carolina, because there simply are no consequences. People break the law with impunity to the tune of, again, millions of dollars out of taxpayers' pockets. But the only thing people get as a consequence is a $5,000 fine and a public reprimand. Our system is broken, people. This news outlet for years, has argued for much tougher campaign finance violation penalties, and we've argued for mandatory minimums for politicians when they break the rules. But again, no consequences in this case. Massive scandal, huge amounts of money, blatant influence purchasing, and yet no one, except for this one lawyer, has any consequence whatsoever. And again, what does this guy get? A few $1,000s in a fine and a public reprimand. People, South Carolina can do better than this. And again, I hate saying this because we say it on so many different issues, but if you want real reform in the way that politicians handle your tax dollars, you got to insist on it. You cannot allow this kind of crap to continue. How do you fix it? Tougher laws, tougher penalties, and any politician asking for your vote this spring in the primary, if they don't insist on that, don't give away your vote.